Plagiarism and fraud. Hot topics. But what is it all about? Intellectual integrity and honesty are the essence of an academic attitude, to which KU Leuven gives the highest priority. Let's start with the definition of irregularities and plagiarism. Any behavior that partly or completely impedes or aims at impeding the correct assessment of the knowledge, insight or skills of any student is considered an irregularity. Plagiarism is a special type of irregularity. It is the copying of other people's work or of one's own earlier work, either in an identical or slightly altered way without adequate source references. This applies to ideas, writings, structures, designs, images, plans, code, etc. Whether or not the irregularity is the result of a conscious decision on behalf of the student, and whether or not it offered them an advantage, is of no importance to the assessment of the facts. Assignments, master's thesis, programming code, everything is screened for plagiarism. Here are some golden rules.
Okay, always before the exam, a couple of days is possible. Check what you can get to the actual exam. If it's an open book, if you can take your notes, if you can take a formulary. So always check it in advance.
You always have to make sure that you show all your knowledge and all your potential so the professor can test it.
If you want to cite from a text, then you should both use citation marks and acknowledge the source you're taking it from.
We have to quote and to put the reference of the text, but this also applies for if you're quoting program codes or figures or other kind of illustrations.
There is a tutorial on information literacy on Toledo, where you will find more information and you can go there for help.
If you get help from somebody else, you should always reference them, because it's their knowledge, not yours.
If you suffer from performance anxiety or stress, make sure to seek help in time with one of the professional counselors from KU Leuven.
In case it is an open book exam, yes, it's okay to use the book, but obviously if it's not allowed to use the open book, it will be copying. It will be a failed exam.
It's not plagiarism if you quote something you found in the internet, as long as you're quoting the reference you're taking, because sometimes you will not be able to explain things in a better way than it's already written.
Every time you write anything, when you have read a source, it can be a book or an article, always make sure that you use your own words. And if you are in doubt, you should consider if you want to quote the source, because if you can't write it better yourself, you should quote it. But if you can use your own words, you show that you actually know what's going on, but then just remember to put in a reference.
It is not okay to use an image from a website without citing the website from which you downloaded it, but in case you need to use the image, it is always necessary to write from which webpage you took it from.
There are penalties in several gradations. You have to redo the assignment. You get a reduced grade. You get a 0 grade. You get a 0 grade for multiple or all exams. You are not allowed to redo your exam. You are suspended for the rest of the academic year, or you are not allowed to enroll in any program from KU Leuven for the duration of 1 or 2 years. But don't let it come to that. All scientists are proud of their work, but they know their work is anchored in the work of others. Respect for their work and their ideas, and for your work and your ideas, that is a message. Just as Isaac Newton wrote to Robert Hooke in 1676, "If I have seen a little further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants."